Hello everyone. Get all this set up again. It's new! It's all new. It's crazy. And yeah, I don't know what was with that timer, but it decided to lag today. And that's okay. Maybe I'll go a little bit more down on the music, guys. You tell me. You tell me. But we literally... Wait, the mic's doing a thing? Oh no. What's the mic doing? Is it being weird? What was the thing that it was doing? Maybe it is being weird, isn't it? I don't know. Let me know. I'm gonna just turn it down a bit while we figure this out so it doesn't crush your guys' eardrums. But why would it be jumping then? Check, checkity, check. I think we're just gonna carry on. Yeah, just... Hello? Just tighten up the straps so my apron's like up here. Okay, I think we're good. I'm gonna scroll on up and welcome everyone in. Okay, I just have to take a sec because Sam just took my mouse. He's looking to see what it is. And if you're wondering why my face is already red, it's because the dishwasher just stopped and it's literally like steam drying onto me right now. I'm like in a steam room currently. He's looking on the mixer right now if you guys are like, what are you doing? Let's see how that is. Let's see how that is, everyone. Okay, Bonk and Kimmers, thanks for being first today. I hope you guys are doing good. Hi, Trekker, it's good to see you too. Greek is here with us. Mish is kind of here, but she has bad Wi-Fi. She's on the road, so we'll be thinking of her with all the feta, which won't be on today's stream. Hi, Hippie Wayfarer, how are you doing? Is that everyone? Oh, and Zinkaverse, thank you very much for the 12 months in a row, friend. One whole year together. That's always such a crazy feeling. Hi, Boss Man. And then lastly, we got Bob, Faceplant Hagers, and we can say that this stream is for Bob. He saved up 50,000 of his Twitch channel points. We call them pots and pans here on my channel. And you accumulate these as you watch the stream. You don't have to pay money for them at all. And if you save up 50,000, you can ask me to make something for you live on stream. So we're gonna make a Danish dish today Bob brought into our life. I hope I say it right, but I'm probably gonna absolutely butcher the pronunciation of it. Maybe we should look it up real quick. But honestly, every time we've looked up Danish pronunciations with Mish, she said that it's wrong. So let's see, Bob, let's see. Okay, how do I want to open this? Why is the computer asking me that? I mean, I guess Microsoft Edge. She says your pronunciations are good? What? I'm gonna just turn it down a sec so I don't blast your guys' ears. So it actually translates to, from Google Translate, the name of this dish translates to roast pork.
Stegt Flaesk.
I needed to turn it up more.
Stegt Flaesk.
Steak Flaesk. That's how I was kind of going to say it anyways. But you never know. It's always good to check if it's your first time. Translation, pronunciation. Say that one 5 times fast. Okay, so menu is popped up here, but if you want the full thing, this is what's going down as well. And then our one really nice recipe for the day. So I don't think this is gonna be too hard of a dish. We usually try to keep our Sunday streams quick and easy themed. So 3 hours or less to make whatever dish we're making that day. Let's see how we do. Hi, CJ Dewey. Happy Sunday, guys. Already the last day of the weekend, hey? Okay, so steak Flaesk. Steak Flaesk? I think it's more like Flaesk. And I did try really hard, like I had to copy and paste that special A and E that they kind of sandwiched together in the Danish language. I got it right. So Danish roast pork with potatoes and parsley sauce. And if you click on the recipe and just scroll down a little bit to the photo, it looks so delicious. So I thought the parsley sauce was gonna be more like or herbaceous, like a chimichurri or a salsa verde, something like that. But no, it's like a bechamel sauce, so nice and creamy with the potatoes and the pork belly. And then you just mix in the fresh parsley. Very good. And I do have some tarragon as well as thyme, which would probably be very good flavors as well in this sauce. So you decide what you want to do. Oh yeah, it is. Happy fall equinox today, guys. Last day of summer yesterday, first day of fall today. Stegt Flaesk. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, Misha's here. Well, she was for a second and she didn't correct me. Okay, so this dish has been crowned Denmark's national dish. And the person says it's easy to see why. Salty, thin pork belly with soft-boiled potatoes drizzled with a divine parsley sauce is really the only way to do roast pork justice. Once you've tried it, you may find the dish making its way into your weekly meal plan, especially so during the cold season. Which, I mean, we made soup yesterday on stream. We know that the weather's starting to cool off, and I think we're all ready for it. They do say that the tasty meal can be served year-round, though. There's not that many rules. Okay, they say many Danes have a regular outdoor feast of grilling or barbecuing the pork belly slices in the summertime, proving there's never a wrong time to enjoy the food that you love. That sounds good, guys. Nice and easy. Cook time 1 hour and 10, total time 1 hour and 20. I know it usually takes us a little bit more time than what the recipes say, just because we go through it all thoroughly, especially if it's our first time making the dish. They do say 1 kilogram of pork belly, half a lemon, sea salt, and then our potatoes. And then for the sauce, butter, flour, typical how you start a roux for bechamel, and then milk. Fresh parsley, grated nutmeg, salt, pepper, and a little bit of cream, which I don't have to finish, so I'll probably just leave that out. But if you do put the cream, it'll just be a little bit more rich. I have also seen, like, if you don't have cream to put into a bechamel but want it more rich, I've mixed in egg yolk before, and it's really, really nice. Because the heat from the bechamel will temper that egg yolk. And it also changes the color of the sauce to a really nice, like, pale yellow. Something to think about. Okay, our pork belly is skinless. I will say, like, unless we special order our pork belly here now, it will always come skinless from our regular grocery stores. We used to be able to get a full slab of pork belly from Costco here with either the skin like on or off. And that was always super handy. But now Costco has gone to like just doing slices of pork belly in a pack rather than the whole piece, which sucks if you want to make bacon from it. But this is what we have to use today. And yes, we got into it a bit last night. We'll say I wasn't like super impressed with the quality of this pork. Like both Sam and myself agreed that it was not a happy pig, sadly. I was like, I don't like to eat meat when you can tell that like whatever happened in the butcher process, the animal wasn't happy, because then you will get like really chewy and tough meat, or it also means that they didn't hang it long enough. But like both of those things shouldn't be happening for our meat that we eat, right? So they're skipping a process somewhere that they shouldn't be. And if you notice your meat like that, and same with beef, Like if you get a nice tender cut of beef, but when you cook it, it cooks up tough, that's usually an indication that when the animal was butchered, it wasn't butchered properly. So just think about that. I also like always wonder, are we able to take that meat back? I don't like to waste food, but like I feel like if nobody says something to the people that sell it, how are they gonna know? Right? Things I think about. Okay, I'm gonna make the prep list up and away we go. Happy fall or spring. Yeah, I guess if you're, what, in Australia, it's springtime there? Where else in the world? Southeast Asia? Yep, CJ Dewey, you're lucky if your neighbors raise pasture heritage pork. I know I keep saying that I need to source directly from a farm, and that is something that I'm really gonna try to do now that Sam is home. We should probably do that going into winter. Just be better quality, we all know it. I know it takes a bit more effort. That's really it though, right? Just a little bit more effort. Okay, let's kind of read through this. So the oven's gonna go pretty high temp to start, like 465 Fahrenheit. What a random number. I would say anywhere from like 450 to 475, up to you. They say, so rub the top of the pork belly with the halved lemon. And then you cut it into thin slices, no thicker than ½ an inch. Dry the slices and place on your baking tray lined with parchment paper. Season it with sea salt, place it in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes until the skin is blistering, or if you don't have skin on it, you just want the fat to be really nice and crispy, right? And then it says after that first 20 to 25, you turn the slices over and continue resting them. So they roast for about like 45 minutes, which is a pretty good time. Pork belly can be a little bit chewy if you try to cook it really, really quick. So the longer you take, in my mind, the better. And then I will also say, like, roasting it at that high temp, just be aware that it might get a little bit smoky in your kitchen when the fat does start to render out at that high temp. It might be wise to have a little like metal bowl on the side that you can keep pouring the fat out as it renders, just so you don't smoke up your whole house. But we'll see what happens, because I've never done this before. As when the meat's almost ready, place the potatoes in a pot, cover with water, add your salt like we always do, and boil them. We want to rest the meat out of the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. And then we slice the pork belly into even thinner slices. I'm confused. How many times are we cutting this? Because like if we cut it less than or around ½ an inch the first time, are you just cutting it in half then to serve? Does anybody else understand what they're saying by this? Bob, have you made this? Did you do a second cut? Okay, and then just our parsley sauce at the end. Okay, so pork. You've not made it. Okay. Slice. Or sorry, lemon. Slice. Season. And then we'll prepare our sheet pan, let's say. I'm gonna go at 450 Fahrenheit for this. We can always turn it up or do a little bit of broil action later on if we feel like it didn't crisp up enough. But I'd rather not have something light on fire in my oven. Like that is something that happens, right? Think about it. Like when the meat starts cooking and like sizzling, fat pieces pop up. Like if enough of it hits your element, you will start to get little like smoke screens going on in your oven. Boom. Potatoes, bechamel, parsley slash herbs, let's say. Okay, let's do this, guys. I think this will be fun. We will learn together. Do you want a little bit more history of this dish before we start? Sometimes we do that. The origin of it. Sam's distracting me with his VR. I was like, why do I hear Eminem playing? Slice before cooking it only, Hershkoff. It should be crispy all the way around after cooking. That was my assumption. I didn't understand why they'd slice it again after it's already been crisped. So they say, when you think of Denmark's national dish... Oh, there's even more words to it. Stegt Flaesk med persiosovs? Is that the word for potatoes? The dish, which translates to fried crispy pork with parsley sauce, is a beloved culinary treasure in Denmark. Okay, the history of it can be traced back to Denmark's agricultural past, where pork was a common staple in the Danish diet. Over the years, the dish evolved from a simple peasant meal to a national favorite. Its popularity soared to the point where in 2014, it was voted as Denmark's national dish in a nationwide poll. This reflects the Danish values of simplicity and quality. The dish's ingredients are humble, but when combined, they create something truly special. It embodies the Danish approach to food, using quality local ingredients to make delicious, comforting meals. So the key to preparing this dish really lies in the quality of the ingredients you start with, and then the cooking technique after that. I love how simple everything is seasoned, right? Like the meat is just seasoned with lemon and salt. That's it. No other flavors. In Denmark, enjoying this dish is often a communal affair. It brings families and friends together, often enjoyed in a cozy setting. Lots of restaurants also proudly serve this dish, each adding their own subtle twist to the classic recipe. Hi, Luminology, how are you doing? I think you're only supposed to slice the fat first. Okay, I'm gonna read through it one more time, just to make sure. Because, like, there is a step, number 4 on the recipe, where he says if you have time, score the pork belly skin. Rub the skin of the pork belly with the halved lemon. Cut the pork belly into thin slices no thicker than ½ an inch. Dry the slices and then lay them out on the tray. You're still full from last night. Hilarious. Sometimes that's like a good feeling. Other times it's not. Because you like want to eat something else, but you're still full. It's funny. You didn't go to Ramsay's, but you went to a Brazilian steakhouse. Fun. How many like different meats did they have on the spit? Snooze that ad for a second. Okay, let's get into it, my wonderful people. We'll get a board. We'll get the pork out. And away we go. About a dozen different meats. That's a good selection. What was like your favorite one that they did? And I don't think we're gonna use all of this. So I'll just fill up one whole tray of pork and then see what we end up with. So maybe we should prep that on the side as we slice it. Because this is gonna be really fatty, I'm definitely gonna line it with some foil. Definitely gonna foil it. Yum. You tried about 6 of them. And the ones you liked the most was the lamb or the sirloin. That sounds good. I don't think we've ever gotten lamb here at our one Brazilian steakhouse. What's happening, Bondi? How's it going? Okay, I'm gonna tear foil. It might be loud. 1. 2. Let me just set that beside us. So we're gonna have the cutting board coming in here. At least it will be nice and easy to put our slices right onto there. I think it's more like that, Bob. Okay, I'll check it out when I come back. Somebody's cooking up like flatbread, I think. Heard a lot of like slapping before a stream, and now it smells like burnt bread. I think they're cooking flatbread down the hallway. Okay. So don't like slice all the way through is what they're saying? Because it sounds it and looks like they sliced them all first. So then from what we have, maybe you just cut them in half now? I don't know. I'm grabbing the cutting board. Maybe I'll check one other recipe that's not this recipe page, just to see what they say. Let's do that. Get out of here, pork. The foreign fork. How do they do it? One and a half pounds of pork belly cut into slices about 6 inches long and 1/3 of an inch wide. So they are slicing them long and thin. So if I slice this in half and then go through it the other way, that's how they did it on this one recipe. So yeah, we're slicing it like 1/2 inch thick. I'm not gonna worry about the second slice later on. Because who was it, Hirschstoff said? You just want the pieces crispy all around. That's really all we're going for. We don't have skin on, Bob. Like, if I had the skin on the pork belly, then I would score it. I mean, we could still score it if we want, but the reason you always score the skin is to let the fat render out underneath and for it to dry out so it can crisp up. But if you want to score it, by all means, you could. Just, I don't think we're really gonna see it once we cut this up. That's about it. But I'm just gonna start and see where we go. Yeah, we're all in this together. I'll use a boning knife for this. And we also did try to pick some nice meaty pieces of pork belly, at least for this. I don't like when it's too fatty. That looks good. Okay. What do we think, guys? Just 1/2 inch thick, like, pieces going through this way? They're gonna be quite small bitties, or I can go, like, cut this into 3, actually, is what I think. And then we put it that way, and then just slice it in half. I want to go too thin is the really big thing, because then the meat will dry out before the fat renders, but that's about 1/2 inch. Looks pretty dang good. And so for the lemon part, I think I'm just gonna squeeze some lemon all over the pork once we have it trayed up like this, and then season it that way. Let's just load up this pan. And yeah, it's quite soft when you do this. Go slow and controlled. Yummo. who in chat eats a lot of pork belly or just enjoys eating pork belly. That's one layer. We could always put it closer together if you want. Maybe just a little bit closer. Fit one more row on. Nice. Next. You wish you did? It's just something that you don't usually buy or what? You don't have it often. You like go through phases, I find. But yeah, having it with ramen, that's like a pretty typical one, hey? A lot of Asian dishes will use pork belly in them. Trying to slice this evenly. Without it like getting smushed too much. We're doing good. That's where we're at now. This one is quite thin, so I think I'm just gonna like press it out like this. I don't see a point to cutting it at all. It's gonna get too thin if we do that. Let's keep going. So I've been cutting this long. This is how wide the pork belly is and comes. I'm cutting it into 3. And then you do kind of have to be strategic with how you slice this, right? Because bacon, when you think about how it's sliced, you have to always slice it against the grain. So you don't really want to be slicing it the way that I was thinking of. This will be much better. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw Mish post her schnitzel plate in Discord when they were going through Germany. But it looked phenomenal. And so then I asked her how much that plate cost of the schnitzel. Because here, we were looking at a German place that my one friend said was really good. And I believe their schnitzel plate was like $36 Canadian. Which I thought was insanely priced. So Mish's schnitzel plate was $24 Canadian. It's a steal of a deal. Okay, one more, I think. Or maybe not even all of this one. Let's see. Ouch, right? Samo's birthday is coming up at the beginning of October. We've been like trying to think about what we want to do with it. He's like, maybe we can go out to dinner. And I was like, actually though, like we never go out for dinner because we're never happy with like what we have to pay for it. To drive 1.5 hours each way for schnitzel, worth the drive. I would do that too. 100% Bob. Okay, we loaded this up, guys. It looks good. That was easy. We figured it all out. Ah! Tried to run away. Look at that. That's a nice looking pan of pork. Okay, the rest of this I'll just pack away. I think I can fit it into a container. Guys, no stream lag so far at all, hey? It's going really good. The cable worked. There's our leftovers. gonna wash my hands. And then we'll do the lemon and salt next. I guess we can get the oven heating, so it will take a little bit to get it up to that high temp. And then while that's going, we can prep the potatoes in the pot to boil, because that's our next longest process. What's everyone getting up to today? I was just hanging out. We got some racing to watch still. Bob, did you watch the race yet? I know they said half a lemon, but let's see if we need the whole thing. We'll roll it. All the juices out. And we just don't want any seeds, so I'll just kind of hold my hand underneath as we do this. Yeah, you still have Q3 and the race to watch. Me too! That's so funny. I don't even think we got all the way through Q3. We paused it. I was like, it's stream time. We gotta go. I'm not putting a ton of lemon juice on this either. Like, that was just the half. I'm intrigued by this. Now salts. Flake salt will be really good with this. And that is what they said in the recipe too. What do we have in here? The salt cupboard. And I guess we could always use Maldon salt. But I think our kosher salt is nice enough. And because pork is pretty fatty, you can put a good amount of salt. Keep in mind you could always put more after, right? So don't put more than you think it needs. And because we're seasoning this early now, it'll kind of marinate as it sits while we prep the potatoes and a few other things. Soak in all the flavors. And salt also helps to make that nice crust with the fat when things start frying. Bam. Salted and lemoned. Looks good. Okay, so oven to 450 Fahrenheit. Crazy. Let's get some potatoes. Hi, Gearbox Man. How's it going today? I have some Farmer's Market potatoes. Hopefully still good. Got some more. To use from the store. These are really big. I know they said to use baby potatoes. I might just cut these into larger cubes so that we can use them up. But if you can get like new potatoes at the beginning of the summer, definitely get your hands on those. Check if Sam left something in the oven. It's just a habit from like working in restaurants because you're always working with a lot of different people, right? And there's usually only 1 or 2 ovens that everybody uses. So before you turn it on, you always check, because the baker might be like cooling a cake in the oven, right? It's just a habit. It's kind of funny. Is that good? Maybe I'll do one more, because I love potatoes. We'll do a mix of those. And then I'm going to try to leave the skin on as much as we can. But we'll clean those up. I see the farm ones. I mean, they're getting a little old. Maybe over a month now. They can use a little love. Or yeah, proofing, right? I was proofing my bread in there. Now it's burned to a crisp. I mean, I've almost done it to my own self before on stream. Okay, so these, you can see there's like a couple boo-boos we'll clean off. And we can also see the like coloration there. So the dark on the outside to the white, that means that it got kind of frozen. It got too cold. I would say not in the ground, because it was summer when these were picked, right? It's not like it's getting into fall. So that was like how they kept the potato in their fridge. It was too cold. So it broke all the cells on the outside of the potato, which then is gonna make the potato not last as long either. Also notice that these farm potatoes, like, have kind of like a dirty smell to them. I don't know if that's part of this. Something happened to them. Is anybody cooking up some tasty foods today? I know it's Sunday. Hopefully you guys cooked yourself one good thing this weekend. You've had disasters happen. You turned on the oven when your parents were storing something in there. Oh no! See? I'm glad we brought it up. What did you do? Yet it is. Or it's too tragic to bring it up and talk about again. It's traumatic. Whoa, look at that one. And like, that really is the thing with potatoes, is if you leave that like weird stuff on the potato, being like, yeah, we can eat that, it literally just tastes like mold. So just clean it off. I guess unless you like the mold taste. This light is quite high. Whoa, that was way lower than I thought. That's better though. That's better. Okay, get a pot now. Mine in the dishwasher. Yes, it is. Your wife's step monster. Love it, Bob. She stores her plastic party wares in the oven. Like, that doesn't even make sense, though. I would never store a plastic thing in the oven. I've never heard of that either. That is kind of crazy. All right, we're gonna cut these up now. Make sure you keep them around the same size. Start with the big ones, I guess. We'll go like pieces like this to boil up. They'll still like bite size, but you don't really need a knife to eat this, right? You can cut it with a fork or just eat it with your fork. Like that. Nice and large pieces. Hi, Scoots. How's it going? This one, I think we'll just go in half. Just got back from the store. Did you do all your shopping for the week coming up? Bob requested a really nice recipe for us today. Which, can we say it's inspired by Mish? I need a bench scraper. Get those chonkers in. That's how we're looking. This one we gotta do 3 because it's thicker. This one's really small. You had already frosted cakes and brownies in the oven for what happened to you? No. That is traumatic. Got burnt and melted before anybody realized. You also accidentally dropped a hot pad in the oven while it was on without realizing, so it just like lit on fire then. Thanks for sharing, yet it is. Yeah, I think I've almost got myself once when I was proofing something in the oven. Whoa, I'm glad I cut into that, because look at this. I almost cooked what I was proofing as I was heating up the oven. Worst feeling ever. You don't know what you're gonna open up the door to. Alright, so next we'll cover these with cold water and then get some salt in. And then we'll roll into prepping up all of our sauce stuff. This mix of potatoes I think is gonna look really good together. I currently have my medium pot just reducing some chicken stock on the stove top. Sorry, we're using this massive one. Okay, so we don't fill the whole pot with water, just enough water to cover the potatoes. And now, some salt. I never usually measure the salt. Usually just like pour a layer over the top like that and call it good. We can put the lid on. So there's not really veggies with this today at all. And I'm gonna wipe just our starchy area. So right now our oven's heating up to 450 for our pork to cook in there. This pork we sliced around 1/2 inch thick. And then we squeezed 1/2 lemon over all of it. And then we just sprinkled it with some salt. So far, that's according to the recipe. Next one, our parsley sauce. Butter, flour, milk, a bunch of parsley leaves, chopped, nutmeg, salt, pepper. So very typical like bechamel sauce, and then you just add parsley. So we'll be able to make that sauce while both the meat and the potatoes are cooking. And it's totally okay if the potatoes are done before the pork, because they will stay hot in their pot. Do not worry. So let's get some butter out. We'll get our milk. And then whenever this oven beeps, we'll get our pork sizzling on up in there. We got a bunch of parsley to chop. first we'll just dice up our butter and then get our flour. That off. What do I usually do? That. Oh, you're okay. You're okay. I just like that music, so it was distracting for me, right? Guys, Samo did some Beat Saber. Please don't. Please don't. Seasoned butter. Yeah. Okay, let's do... Holy, the follow commander alert worked. Team Suzgio? Thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Guys, I think we're just gonna do all of this butter for this. That looks good. And then I usually just add in flour until it makes a paste. People always try to like measure out the ingredients for making a roux, the flour and butter. I never follow it though. Butter just makes everything better. I noticed that you added that command, Bonk. Thank you. It was like, this is new. How are you feeling?
Good.
Good thing I gave you that chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
Look at it. Super powered you.
So that's how big my mom would cook them as a kid. Pork belly pieces like this. Spread it.
So Sam is saying this is how his mom, who is from Germany, would slice it this thick, the pork belly, and then she'd just do breadcrumbs on it, or like a breading station.
Just a breading station, and then we fried it.
Then you'd bread the pork belly and then fry it?
Yeah.
Kind of like a quick schnitzel, I guess.
Yeah.
Almost. That's the Samo info he can give to us. Okay, take that away. We got our flour here. We have our milk here. Like I said, I usually don't measure out the milk. Go grab our nutmeg. And then I think we'll chop our parsley. And then we are ready to roll, people. Nutmeg is one of those spices in bechamel that has to be there. It's what we're taught in culinary school too. Just like adds a kind of warming flavor to the sauce. So it's not just like one noted with the milk. It's really good. How much parsley? I'll just kind of see how much parsley they put into the sauce. 30 grams chopped. At least the Danish recipe is in grams. That does make sense. We'll probably just do all of that. Pick it off the stem, chop it up. And then I think, now that we're at this spot, I'm also gonna turn on the potato pot for us and get it starting to heat up and boil. Because whenever this oven beeps, that pork is going in, and it only takes about 30 minutes. I would say 30 to 45-ish. Let's say everyone's oven is a bit different too. Now we'll chop it up, and then we'll just grab a container we can store it in for now so it doesn't get all dried out. Usually I'll try to bunch it up. Makes it easier to chop. Bless you. Bop. Bop, bop, bop. Let them know, everyone. I think the light was green. I don't know if I've ever had a creamy parsley sauce like this before, guys. This is new. I'm intrigued. Bob, are you gonna try to make this after I make this? Or you wanted to see what I thought of it first before you attempted it? There, that's pretty nice and fine for a sauce. It sounded great and both. Love it. I love it. Okay, that's ready too. Look at us go. Best thing to request for a Sunday. Pop the lid on. I literally just cleaned off my cutting board today, scrubbed it all up. I got this from yesterday's parsley cutting, and now look at us again. Restained. Hi EHPZ, how's it going? Long time no see. There, I guess that helped a bit more. Come on, oven. That's all we're waiting on. Let's switch back over here for now. Take a peek at our Lister roux. Pork, lemon, slice, season, check. On the sheet pan, and we are going to basically fry it in the oven, I would say, instead of on the stovetop at 450 Fahrenheit. It said for 20 minutes the first round, and then for another 10 the second round, or until you're happy with how crispy it is. Potatoes are in the pot, and we're just simply boiling them because they get served with the parsley sauce. So we just have to cook the pork, finish the potatoes, and make our sauce. That is it. Very, very simple. Boom. Let's see how this is looking over here today. This is the moment of truth, going to the stove. Whoa. I mean, we still gotta fix the HDMI, but it's working? And yeah, we're not on low battery yet. Oh no. So the GoPro has like a filter for the light that sits on top of it, but it literally falls off. So I don't know what that's all about. But that's how it's looking, guys. Whoa. It really went bright. Gotta go one lower. The first one's good, hey? So keep that lid on the pot there for us. And then if we go back more, like that, we can get both of the burners. Wow, that looks so clear. Can we sneak this other pot over? Be like, oh, we're just going to this one for now. This is fun. And then if I put this on, I'll have to like tape the filter on, because you'll see how much it like changes the view. See? And now I take it off and it's like that. Let me just grab a little piece of tape really quick and see if I can do that. Electrical tape might do the trick. But that is so much more of a clear video feed than using my phone camera like we did before. It makes a difference. Okay, boom. Gotta love electrical tape. Here we go. Okay, so I turned the potato pot up a bit more. We have not turned on our bechamel pot yet. We're still waiting on the porco. You can make the bechamel a bit early too for the parsley sauce. Just the thing is it's gonna want to create a film on top unless you stir it every now and then. So just keep that in mind if you do make it early. I even do this different angle. Even better. Love it. Okay, how's this oven feeling? I don't know if that oven's ever gonna beep at that temp. It usually literally takes like 45 minutes for it to beep. But it feels really, really hot in there. So I am gonna pop this pork in for the first 20 minutes. And let's see where we end up. Gonna go grab a whisk. And we'll start working into our sauce. Don't forget to set your timer for the pork. You could also use your nose when you start cooking the pork, because you'll be able to smell as it starts rendering and getting crispy. We'll turn the bechamel pot with the butter onto medium-low for now. And then just gonna get a little measuring cup so we can scoop the flour into there once it's melted. But we're laughing. Ha ha ha. I'm ready for some potatoes. Has anybody been watching the TwitchCon stuff that's been happening? I will admit I haven't at all. But I'll probably catch up later today. Guess we'll see. Alright, she's melting. Gonna wait for her to be sizzling. And then we'll add the flour and mix it in with the whisk. Melt! We're being patient. But I see the potatoes are almost up. Getting some foamy bits happening there. Melt, butter! Sometimes cooking teaches us to be quick. Other times it teaches us to be patient. Every day. It's just something new. My chicken stock is almost done reducing too. It went so dark. The chicken stock that we made from our roast chicken yesterday on stream. It's like a deep brown. Okay, usually I let this come up to a little sizzle, this butter, before we add the flour. So let's wait for that, but we're almost there. Then I'll turn on the oven light so I can peek. Peek at the pork. Currently, doesn't look like anything is going on. Nothing's happening. But that's usually how it goes when you first put in your meat to the oven. It takes a little bit to heat it back up. There we go. We got some steam action. Now we're coming up. Who in chat has made bechamel sauce from scratch before? I feel like this is a sauce that I've made a lot on stream over the years. A lot. I'll get our flour bag opened and ready. And then I just sprinkle and mix the flour in until it gets nice and pasty. I don't weigh anything or measure it out. You don't actually remember if you've made it before, Bonk? Like, not even for, like, the base of maybe making mac and cheese for a potluck or something like that? Oh, Bob! Even making it with gluten-free flour. That makes sense. That's so cool. Okay, that's sizzling nice, so I just have flour here in a little measuring cup. Go like that. A bit more for sure. Maybe even a little bit more. But the thicker that we make this, like, flour and butter paste, the roux, at this point, kind of the more liquid we're gonna need. So the thicker our sauce will end up, we should say. So just also keep that in mind. And then the longer that you cook this, the less thickening power you'll have from the flour. If you think of, like, Creole food, like gumbo, where they're really cooking the roux until it's basically brown, they're doing that for more of a flavor than for actually, like, getting the sauce thick. That's what we were taught in school. So now it's really important, and I'll probably turn this down a bit too, that we slowly add our milk as we bring this together. And then we mix it really good after each addition so that it's all smooth again. And don't worry, it's gonna look exactly like this. That's why we turn the heat down a bit. That's about all the milk I add when we first start this. This is one of the most important parts of making the bechamel sauce, is making sure you keep everything nice and smooth so that our flour doesn't cook into lumps. Because once that happens, unless you like blend it back up, you're not getting those lumps back out. Nice, our potatoes are almost up. See how that got kind of lumpy? So now I'm gonna wait for it to come back up to temp. And just keep stirring it until all of those disappear back in. Should we pop our potato pot before the lid flies off? Okay, there we go. So it's smooth again. Still gonna mix it a bit more before we do our next addition of milk, just to make sure. And you always go all the way around the edges too, and like the corners of the pot. Now we'll go more because it's already getting thick again. Like that, and then we'll see how this comes up. Now that we added a bunch of cold milk. But we might still need more. While I'm waiting though, I'm gonna add our pinch of nutmeg. Maybe a little bit of salt. And then the pepper part of bechamel is controversial. Some chefs you meet, they'll say, you can only use white pepper in the bechamel, which honestly gives it the worst flavor ever. You guys have ever used white pepper? So I would always choose just like some really fine ground black pepper instead. I like to use white pepper in Chinese food, that's about it now. But everyone's palate's different. It's an adventure to make the bechamel bonk. Don't burn the butter. Don't burn the milk. Yeah, unless we're actually meaning to. And then as this now comes up to a simmer, again, we just want to be constantly stirring it. Because one thing I've found over the years of making this is the flour that we just mixed in, it still wants to sink to the bottom of the pot. And then if you don't stir it every now and then, it's just going to burn. And then you have to remake your whole bechamel pot. Don't scald the milk. Okay, pork is cooking. It doesn't look crispy at all yet. It's just currently like kind of gray, but I see a little bit of sizzling starting to happen on the parchment side, which is why we flip it over, right? We're getting some steam coming out of this. It's looking good. And it's not really going to thicken up until this comes up to a simmer and you see some bubble in action. I think while we wait, should we give the potatoes a little poke? And then these are just going to get buttered, so I'm going to cut some butter nubs. They need a bit more. I have a 7-minute timer on my watch for the pork, but I think I'll check the potatoes in about 5. I don't want to overcook them so they go like mushy and mashed, right? We want them to keep their shape. So while we have a moment, I'm just gonna cut a few cubes of butter. Once the potatoes are boiled, we can mix this in. Otherwise, they'll be quite dry. on their own if you don't put some fat with them. Give this one more stir. Oh yeah, she's thickening now. It's looking good. Butter nubs are cut. Ready to roll. I'm gonna come back over and yeah, and look, it's getting thick, thick, thick. So now we can turn this down. It's bubbling, but that really changed the consistency of that sauce. Nice. This maybe needs 1 or 2 more minutes and it's probably done. We'll finish the potatoes together, so I'll set up our trivet over here. Mix in the butter. This sauce is quite thick. I guess you can determine how thick you want it, but I'm gonna add just a little bit more milk. Nice. Just smooth it out a bit more again. So now we can put the milk in the fridge. And I'm gonna take a tasting spoon and see how this is. If we have sufficiently cooked out the flour enough. That's how it's looking. Really nice and smooth. And then if you swipe your finger like that and it holds the lines, that's how you know you have the right sauce consistency. So yeah, usually when you first make bechamel, I don't usually add salt right away. It tastes really sweet when the flour is all cooked through. It doesn't taste starchy or anything like that. So that's really good. Now we're gonna add maybe a couple pinches of salt. And then I don't think we'll mix that parsley in until right before we serve it, just so it stays nice and bright green. But this little bit of salt should make this really yummy. I think I'll get rid of that whisk now. And we can just switch to a spoon for the rest. And really smart, I would suggest to put the lid on this now, if it's done early, just to mitigate that film building up while we're waiting on our last few things. Take it off of the hot burner too. Cookie! The soup turned out very good yesterday. So good that I might have had it for breakfast this morning. And yeah, the rest of the stream is set up pretty well today too. It's going good. How was, I need to fix this. How was your day yesterday? I need to go 1 higher for this pot now. But these potatoes are almost done. And the timer for the pork is almost done too. Awesome. Let's just do one more check on these. It was nice. Good to catch up with old colleagues and friends. You do it once a year? That's awesome. So many, like, people that I've worked with just live all over. I feel like that would be hard to organize. Potatoes. I'm trying to, like, get all of the large ones to test. They're almost there. They're almost there. That back on. Okay, so I think we'll be flipping the pork over on the sheet pan before we finish the potatoes in the pot. So let's get into there. This is our first 20 minutes. I don't even know if there's any crisping happening yet. Also, I feel like I might just pour all of this liquid. I'm here. I'm gonna like pour all of that liquid out of the sheet pan right now before we flip it. I'm gonna go on this side, so hopefully I don't get too much juices going underneath the foil. But I mean, like, every pork belly is probably gonna be different. The more juices you have, the less crisping that's gonna happen. What do you think, guys? Just keep it going longer on this side? That's what I'm honestly feeling. We got a ways to go, and I'm gonna crank up the oven too, actually. Now that I see that it's not cooking that hot. Cranking it. Way longer too. Like, yeah, it's still gray. It's not crisped at all. Keep it going. And that's why I said, like, convection oven would probably be the best for this. If you guys wanted to know, just with that airflow will help it crisp better. I currently only have one burner that's heating it from underneath. So I think when we go to finish this, we will have to broil it to get the top perfect. One more check on our potatoes, and then I'll probably be straining them, and we can mix it with butter. So let's do for sure like another 10 minutes on that pork. Turning our potatoes off. So literally just gonna wait on the pork then. I was gonna kind of assume that a 30-minute cook on pork belly would be pushing it. But everyone's oven's different. Hi Farby, how's it going? You guys just got steamed the heck up. It's really steamy because we got all the windows open. It's nice out again. All we're gonna do is get some butter. I cut some butter nubs earlier. We're gonna butter our potatoes so that they don't go all starchy on us instead. Yeah, we're making a Danish dish today. Face Pancakers requested this one for all of us. Are you Danish, Farby? I forget. Okay, now I'm gonna grab a spoon. Stir all this up. Is it actually Danish days over there too, Bong? That's funny. Okay, so see how they kind of fall apart and get starchy? That's why we don't overcook the potatoes. But us mixing in the butter as they're warm like this, the potatoes are gonna soak in all that butter. And so when you eat it, it will almost taste like a mashed potato. It won't be dry at all. I just kind of keep mixing these as it absorbs. And then we'll just pop the lid on and these can hang out and stay warm. Feel it got like coated and saucy. We'll keep that on the stove top. I'm not gonna put it back directly on that hot burner because I don't want it to actually burn when it's sitting on there. So we'll switch back to this view for right now. We're just waiting on the porkaroo. So it's already cooked for 20 minutes. Turn this light off. Turn it out. And I'm gonna say it'll definitely need probably another 15, 20. Have you made this dish before, Farby? This is a first for all of us, and Misha isn't here with us today, our other Dane. Whoa, my light's literally strobing. What's going on back there? Just trying to turn it off. Hold it. Just hold it. But yeah, we're all wondering how to make this the best as possible. I'm gonna go turn a fan on because it is quite warm in here, as you guys can see. We got like the last summer heat wave coming in this next weekend. Back to 30 degrees Celsius. And then later after that week, it's freezing. We gotta exhaust this heat out. Thanks, Cookie, for the 1 bit.ly for Mish. And I did change the bit goal. I don't know if you guys saw, but I thought this would be a fun one for us. Is an actual rock tumbler. They're about $100. And we got some amazing rocks to like take care of, I guess. I've never done that before, so I have to do some research. I'm a rock collector. Time to start sharing them with all of you. I'll just be down here peeking at the pork. If it doesn't really crisp up in the next few moments, I'm just gonna be switching to the broiler for the rest of this. Because at that point, it would have already roasted for 30 minutes, so it's definitely cooked through. We're just working on getting it nice and crispy on the outside now. Cookie, are you cooking anything up today for your Sunday meal? I can't even imagine how good this dish would be, like the pork crisped up on the grill. Probably tastes insane. Hi, Rocco guy, how's it going? Happy Sunday to you. Cookie's just cooking up some chicken thighs, baby carrots, and arugula. That sounds good. Simple. Easy to digest. Not very carb heavy at all. Actually, like, so funny how the pork looks now. Like, it's so gray looking. It's gonna look completely different by the time we're done all of this. Okay, there's like just over 2 minutes to go. I'm just gonna take a quick bathroom break before we finish up the rest of this, guys. Don't go anywhere. Hi, hello, it's me. I have returned. What do we have? Now 1 minute left? Maybe things are happening now. I'm gonna put the one oven rack up to the broiler. Let's do this. Now that we took those juices off, it seems like stuff is happening. So we'll turn the broiler on. Put my trivet back already. And we'll flip these over, I think. I don't know, what do you guys think? I guess since we already have cooked this from the bottom now, maybe we don't have to flip it. We'll probably have to flip it and finish the other side to crisp it, is what I'm seeing here. And that's okay. The broiler's really high heat, and like I said, this is all cooked through now, so we're really just trying to crisp it up. Back in the oven it goes. How does it get crispy though? All of this stuff is gonna start to brown, right? You see that little bit of like juices and stuff? That's gonna start to caramelize with the salt. I usually call it meat caramel. The salt and the fat make like their own version of a caramel. Let's see. I'm just trying to follow the recipe. Blowtorch the top, almost like an uncured bacon. Well, it's really simply seasoned. Just with, like, they rubbed their whole pork belly, but we started with it already sliced. They rubbed their whole pork belly just with a lemon juice down. So I just squeezed it over our slices first. And then just salt. That's it. There's not, like, any smoky flavor at all. There's nothing sweet on it either. And like no herbs, no garlic, nothing like that. Just really, really simple. I already hear fat explosions over here. Let me go over so you can maybe hear it too. This is what I was talking about, like the little fire bombs that start. So I might go one lower. from the broiler for this. But it already is working, you guys. She's already working. I'm just gonna go a little bit farther away. I don't need to start a grease fire. That's okay today. I'm good. See if this works just as good. You like how simple it is? It sounds really yummy. Like, I love home style stuff like this. Simple food is good food. Yeah, it is still sizzling, no problem. Just being one rack lower away from the element, I feel better about this. It's working. And then I'm also browsing on Twitch. Maybe Recipe Reborn will still be on when we finish today. And then we can raid her back. Yeah, crispy, not burnt, please. I don't know if I've ever had burnt pork belly. That would be a sad situation. I'm like standing back. You don't want to get that hot fat bursting on your face. It's starting to smell nummy though. Like nutty pork aroma. Not getting smoky in here. It's looking good. We're about halfway, I think, to where we want it for crisping. Maybe a little closer before we flip them over. I'm going to give our bechamel a stir back here. Just standing over the open oven door. The hot pork smells coming out. I'm gonna turn the sheet pan. Exciting. I'll show you it when we go to flip it over all together. And like it should stay pretty crispy after we flip it to finish the other side. You could also flip it over twice if you wanted. I do that with bacon sometimes if I notice it's cooking weird. But from what's happening here, it actually looks like the fat is rendering out really nice. When we flip it, I might raise it back closer to the element. Not splashing as bad as I thought it would. Now the pieces are just like sizzling crazy like bacon. to show you guys where we're at. Leaving y'all hanging. So that's where we're at right now. That's why I said I think we'll go closer now. Back to the element. She's rendered out a bunch. But it's starting to look really good. Also a really full pan, right? Maybe if I put a bit less on there, it would have cooked quicker. Now we're looking like bacon strips. But yeah, I really loaded up that pan. So if I spaced it out more, probably would have been a bit better. I just felt like if I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make a bunch of it for us. Okay, so now that it's closer to the element, we're really gonna have to watch it. Don't go anywhere. It's working. It's deceiving, like it looks really dark in the oven, but it's not. Who's this? Who is this? Where'd the whole sub alert go now? Ooh, what? What just happened to the entire sub alert? Did I just miss the other 4? Or it just played 1? Thanks, anonymous gifter, whoever you are in the world. Gifting 5 subs to our channel. I'm trying to not forget about the pork back here. So let's welcome in Carrot Potato, Cali Gamer Mom 79, Happy Anarchist, Caramel Vineyard, and Gracie RN. It just played 1. And so yesterday, the sub alert was working almost perfect, and now it doesn't show any of the image at all. I don't know what to say anymore, guys. I really don't. Okay, I'm gonna flip this over now. I'm gonna start working on getting the other side more crisp. But that is looking good. Like I said, you can always flip it back over after if this next side doesn't crisp up how you want. I'm hoping by the time that this is done, all these chunks will be like really nice and tender. By the time we're done, it'll almost have cooked for probably an hour between the ovenizing and the broiling. They're looking amazing, Bob. Thank you. We're doing our best. Back in. Time to start sizzling up the other side. And then we still have to mix the parsley into the bechamel. Don't forget about that. I guess I can do this with you guys again today since I'm mostly working over here right now. This is where we're at. I'm literally like down here peeking in like a little kid. One thing I've always wondered about like a broiler, is there a maximum of time or a maximum amount of time that it should be on for? Like the broilers always kind of freaked me out. Like, is it gonna explode and get too hot? I don't know. Gonna put the flour away. That's sitting out from our sauce. Done with that. Done with the nutmeg. You got a big slab of pork belly at the farmer's market? What? How much did you pay for it, if you don't mind me asking? You want to do it up Chinese barbecue style in cubes with rice? Like their crispy roast pork belly that they make? I've also been craving salmon rice lately. It's like certain things smell so, or it tastes so good with rice. I'm like distracted by the smell in here right now. That's why I said smell. But like fatty things with rice, can't beat it. Fatty salmon, fatty pork. We're almost there, guys. Hardest part is just waiting for it to get crisp. Only $10 a pound where you live? So we are paying here like $4.49 a pound just for broccoli right now. So a lot of times lately, like I'll go to the store, go to buy a veggie, and I'm like, nah, I'd rather buy meat for that price. And I just don't buy veggies. But that's crazy. $18 for your slab? 1.8 pounds. I'm moving. I'm leaving this place. This is highway robbery, chat. Just swiveling the sheet pan around. Gonna get some nice fat rendered out though to put into our cooking fat jar. Yummy pork bit since it was only seasoned with salt. I want to look now how much we paid for our pork belly. Wash my hands after. So our sliced pork belly skinless, $11.99 a kilo. So we're paying double. $11.99 a kilo. Or are we paying double? Mickey, how's it going today, dude? Welcome in. Did you go have Sunday roast at the pub? $34.50. Is that what I paid, you're saying, Bob? These are almost done. $11.99 a kilo. You did have Sunday roast at the pub today? What was it? Was it something special? Hey, these are like moments away from being done. It doesn't look as like even and nice as the photo in the recipe that I linked, but I think it'll still be really tasty. Roast beef and pork with some Yorkies, hopefully. Move that over a bit. We're so close. I'm getting excited. Okay, I think if we turn the oven off, let that finish up, we'll be good to go. We're just gonna mix the parsley into the sauce first, and then we'll do a plate up and taste. I'll show you how they look now. Hi, little mama. How was your weekend? Switch this since we're back here. Whoa. And then I'll just leave them in the oven as they finish. Because now that the oven's off, I know it won't burn. Oop, don't go too far, Kate. Okay, I'll show you our bechamel and like what happens to it over here if you let it sit for a little bit. Papa has eaten his 2 beds so far? What's going on? Are you not feeding him? So this is how the bechamel turns out if you make it early and let it sit a little bit. I think we could also thin it out a bit more now that it has time to sit. And then I usually just give it a little stir around with a spoon. And kind of you can just press out that little bit of film that we mixed in that built up on the top of it. But this sauce should be very smooth. So if you ever have it served to you with lumps in it, I would say something. If you're out at a restaurant paying for that. I'll just put that on like a medium-low heat. Maybe a bit more milk, just a touch. And we'll add our parsley. And see how it tastes all together while our pork's just resting. You're showing the girlfriend around Twitch and showing her some of your favorite places, and this is one of them. Thank you. Hello, girlfriend. He's been fed and played and watered, Mickey, and then he had to go out. Those puppies, I tell you. Some dogs, though, I don't know what's with them. They'll just try and eat anything. It's like they get bored, right? And that's how they entertain themselves. Gotta watch them. Okay, we mix the milk back in. We're getting this heated back up. Hi, Maka Waka. How are you doing? You love it here? Thank you. That means a lot. I don't know if we'll add all of this parsley, but most of it, let's say, we could always sprinkle a bit more on top when we plate it. Yeah, Mickey, it's because he's like a hunting dog, right? They always have so much energy. And if you don't like teach them kind of how to entertain themselves, they'll just do bad things instead because they don't know better. That looks awesome though, the parsley sauce. Whoa. Let's give it a taste. We'll let the parsley cook like a moment or two in there. Just a little bit of heat will soften it up. Right now it's currently crunchy. Very fresh. But that is going to be served with these potatoes over here. That we simply just boiled with salt and then tossed them with some butter. As they stayed warm on the stovetop. And that's what the recipe said to do. So we listened. And that up just a bit more. Nice. The pork is like still sizzling in there. And then this is the crispy pork bits that are still sizzling. The precious taters. Precious, precious taters. We did a mix of red and yellow potatoes. Thought it would be nice together. Hey, we got a bit of heat on there. Should be good to go. It's nice to not work Mondays anymore. That I'm sure is a really good feeling. Good to change up your schedule every now and then. Alright. 2 plates. Back it up a bit. Need a little bit more light in our life. Which one? That one. Okay, nice. I'm gonna go make sure Samo's alive. He locked me out of the room. He locked me out, but I want to make sure he's alive before I plate this. You are alive. We're almost done.
Okay.
Oh, so you don't work on Mondays now, but then they have you doing other stuff? I'm sure that's still easier, though, than actually, like, showing up to work, right? Because just helping out family can't be that bad. Hey, we're starting with taters. Buttery, yummy taters. You cooked her eggs Benedict for breakfast? Just like a traditional one? With the ham or back bacon? Or did you do something way more fancy? That's one of the best breakfasts to make for people if you're trying to impress them. It's like making hollandaise sauce is harder than making the bechamel that we just did on stream. That mix of potatoes. Sambo needs a couple more, I think. Nice. Pork next. It looks pretty even on both sides. I know Sam likes more fatty pieces of pork. He's a fatty pork man. So I'll stack them up to these ones. Kind of thicker pieces. But we did get some good pieces of pork belly where it's a mix of fatty and lean. And then I'll go like some of these pieces smaller. I'm trying to fan it out just a bit for the plating so it will look nice. What are we thinking, guys? This one is really nice and crisp. The edge of it. And now, come over with our sauce. And it looks like we just nappe. Just spoon it over the potatoes. I'll recheck the recipe just to be sure. But yeah, it looks like we just coat the potatoes in the sauce. They said you could also add steamed or roasted veggies on the side if you want. I saw that we just had an ad pop up as I'm doing this. I'm gonna try and not have that happen. Can I turn it off? Literally worst timing of life. I have to hold this up. Yum. It's in progress now, Bonk. Okay. That looks amazing. It's the potatoes living under a blanket of sauce. And then I think it would look nice if we just put a little piece of lemon on the side of the plate as a garnish. Kind of like over by the pork. That looks good, guys. Where's my Bobberoni at? Get a little bit more light for my video and photo. You're drooling? Oh, okay. Sorry. Wifey says you can make it for her. Okay, let me get Samba.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. It looks nummy, guys. I'm excited to squeeze the lemon over it and see, like, how crispy we got the pork. I don't even think we need a knife. There's a lot of juice in there. I'm going in for this one. It looks crazy crispy. Crazy crispied. I think this might be like the best one. Please don't die.
What the fuck is this?
That's your lemon wedge? Mmm. It's not chewy at all like yesterday. Like I said, by the time we finish this, it was almost cooked for like an hour. It's just boiled potatoes with parsley sauce, so I'm not sure if it needs a bit more salt. This is my first taste. The best reaction? Whoa! The juices went flying. You literally just splattered pork juice everywhere. So this was just sliced, lemon squeezed over it, and salt. Cooked in the oven hot at like 450 for 30 minutes, and then we just broiled the rest. Great, yeah. I needed to oil my board. How did you know? Potatoes need a little. What about the pork too? Just a bit of salt on everything, guys.
Wayne, you hungry?
I'll accept it too.
Wayne, you hungry?
I'm good. I got food.
It's nummy though, guys. Like how I was saying, the pork that we ate yesterday just like wasn't that good. This is melting in my mouth. It tastes nutty. I'm gonna go in for this one. Dragon Ball, babe? Thanks for the follow. Welcome. Mm-hmm. The sauce is good. It's just super creamy with the potato. Almost tastes like scallop potatoes that aren't baked. Hey. It's good though. The parsley keeps it fresh rather than too heavy. What veggies would you put with this? Like green bean maybe? Squash would probably be good with the sweetness from it. Oh no. You put one too many eyes. Good job. That's what we followed to a T. The only thing I didn't do was score the skin because this was skinless. And then slice it again after it cooked because we all thought that was weird. Yeah, recipe.
I like recipes.
We do like pies here. How did you know? Hey! He potatoed my pork.
I pork your potato.
It tastes like grandma made it. Okay? This is like totally a dish. You go to your grandma's house on the weekend. Your parents like drop you off for the day. This is what grandma makes you for dinner that night. How do you request a recipe? Bottom left of your chat window. It's this way for me. Is our channel points here on Twitch. If you save up 50,000 of them, like Faceplant Kagers did today for this that we made, I will make you something live on stream. That way people don't like fight when you pay for it or anything like that. There's nothing monetary. And then I just contact you when I feel like making it and we decide what day works best for everyone. You're at a sad 6.8. You gotta do more lurking then when I'm on the weekends. Get those points in, baby. Bob just shows up Stucksoid, hey? I only have 187,000 left. Are you saving up for the 1 million? Hey, good, Samo? Yeah. Please, sir. I'm picky about fatty things, and this is good, guys. Right, Samo? Like, I'm pretty picky, I would say. You're only in Maine? Wouldn't be that far. Like, almost the other side of the country, but not bad. Like, it's not like we really have to go too far south. It's good, guys. It's good. If you like meat and potatoes, or like have somebody that you cook for that likes only meat and potatoes, make this for them. It's simple and very satiating. It's not the lightest dish, so definitely better for like cooler weather. But I'm gonna be full for quite a few hours after this. This is my last bite. Samo did it. He did great. Whoa. It really went low. That one did too. It like goes down two at a time. Yes, our clean plate club here on stream, and then I'm always like a half plate. Y'all know me. Hey, can't believe it's Sunday. Last stream of the week already. That was good. Okay, I did say... Whew, got a bit sweaty first. If Recipe Reborn is still on, we're gonna go raid her, because she raided us the other day. And when people do that, I try to, like, go back to them. It's payback. Oh no, I think she's done. No. Well, in that case, we could do our other Sunday thing, which is go see Chef Steve in his food truck. If you guys have any suggestions as well, let me know. Because you know I like to find new people too. Or you want to go see Hippie Wayfair because he was in earlier. Apple cider donuts, roast pork tenderloin with apples and cider sauce. He's covering all the bases. And yeah, not bad at all for timing. We really just waited on the pork. So if I started that earlier... Cue me, Belcher approval for the chef. Thank you. Yeah, if I started the pork earlier... Could have timed it all out a little bit better, but that's okay. It was a first making this dish. As I say, we only strive for perfection. Sometimes we don't get there. Who do we have in food and drink? Maybe we're actually gonna go see Carlino 12. Carlino 12. They used to be a part of our community, and I think he just streams himself now, which is why he's not around as much. There we go. He is doing what? Hobbit Day, second breakfast stream. That sounds fun. That sounds like a lovely Sunday thing to do. Alright, friends. Thanks for being here this weekend. Well, yeah, I guess only Saturday, Sunday is what we streamed. We will be back, like for sure I would say on Friday, to stream again. I'm feeling a lot better. Yeah, you're so welcome, Bob. Thank you so much for just always being here to save up those points and requesting me to make that today. For sure, make it. Guys, I would suggest it, everyone to try it. It's very simple and very easy. And yeah, have a good rest of the weekend. Enjoy if you have some nice weather still before we get into the cold season coming up, because, well, it's the first day of fall today. And definitely join our Discord if you need anything while I'm not streaming on Twitch. But yeah, I'll be back on Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific as always, so I hope to see you all then. Thanks for all the gifted subs, the follows, the raids, the resubs, the biddies, the donations as well. It all means a lot to us, and that's why we keep showing up for you. Hey, I'm gonna hit that button. I'm about to get cut off. Let's go see Carlino 12. Love y'all. Be safe out there, and see you next time. Oh, nice. The oven pit. Okay, I'll check it out. Bye.